In this video, we're going to learn how to solve problems involving motion under gravity for your disease. So we're going to practice with 7 repeated questions for this topic. Alright, so let's get started. This is the first question. It says a ball is released from a height of 125 meters above the ground. The time taken to reach the ground is... Okay, so for this particular question, basically the formula we're going to apply to solve this kind of question is one of the formulas for getting time of flight. So it will be, it has to calculate the time, so T will be square root of 2h over g. Okay, so as usual, the parameters for this question, we have our height to be 125 meter. We have the acceleration due to gravity to be 10 meter per second square. Okay, so when you plug in this expression, we're going to have T will be square root of 2 times 125 over 10. So we're going to have square root of, now 125 times 2, you're going to have 250 over 10. This will cancel this, so you are left with square root of 25, which will give you what, 5 seconds. So the correct option in this question is option D. It's as simple as this. Let's write this now and solve the next repeated question for this topic. Alright, so the next repeated question we're going to practice with will be this question. It says, in free fall, a body of mass 1 kg drops from a height of 125 meters from rest in 5 seconds. How long will it take another body of mass 2 kg to fall from rest from the same height? So we have acceleration due to gravity to be 10 meters per second square. Okay, so guys, looking at this question, it's just simple physics logic to apply. Now, the correct option to this question will be 5 seconds as well. It will take the body of mass 2 kg to fall from rest from the same height 5 seconds. Okay, the reason it will be 5 seconds is that the time it takes for an object to fall from a certain height under the influence of gravity is independent of its mass. This is because the force of gravity acting on the object is proportional to its mass, and therefore the acceleration of the object due to gravity is constant. A body of mass 2 kg will take the same amount of time to fall from the same height as a body of mass 1 kg, which is 5 seconds. Alright, so the correct option on this question is option C. It will still take 5 seconds for a body of mass 2 kg. So that's it for this question. Let's go to the next question, repeated question. Alright, so the next repeated question will be this question. It says, a bullet fired vertically upwards from a gun held 2 meters above the ground reaches its maximum height in 4 seconds. Calculate its initial velocity. Alright, so for this question, let's get our parameters. We have our distance x to be 2 meters. We have our time t to be 4 seconds. We have our acceleration due to gravity g to be 10 meters per second square. And we are looking for the initial velocity. Calculate its initial velocity. U is unknown. Our final velocity will be 0 meters per second. Okay, because at maximum height, when the body, as the bullet is fired vertically upward, at its maximum height, the final velocity will be 0. Okay, so we are going to apply this equation of motion to solve it. V equals to U plus A T. Since we are dealing with motion under gravity and the bullet is fired vertically upward, is going against gravity, it will now be V equals U minus, this minus signifies that it's going against gravity. Alright, our A will now be GT. So when you plug in the values, you're going to have 0 equals U minus acceleration due to gravity is 10 times our time is 4 seconds. So when you break this down, you're going to have 0 equals U minus 40. Make use of the formula this minus 4 to crossover, change to positive. So our initial velocity will be 40 meter per second. So correct option on this question is option B. Alright, so that's it for this question. Let's wipe this now and solve the next repeated question. Alright, so the next repeated question will be this question. It says, if it takes an object 3 seconds to fall freely to the ground from a certain height, what is the distance covered by the object? Okay, so in this question, we have our parameters. We have our t to be 3 seconds. We have our acceleration, the gravity g, to be 10 meter per second square. We are looking for the distance x is unknown. So we are going to apply this equation of motion, which is x stands for the distance, equals ut plus half at square. Okay, so that's the equation of motion we're going to apply. Now we are dealing with gravity. Let's look at the question again. If it takes an object 3 seconds to fall freely to the ground, so in this question we have our initial velocity u will be 0 meter per second. Okay, so for these parameters we have, and the object is falling. Since it's falling, it's not going against gravity, it's responding to gravity. So this plus sign not change the negative, it will remain a plus sign. So our distance now x will be, initial velocity is 0, that's 0 times our time is 3 plus half. Now our a is acceleration in gravity, which is 10, okay, times our 3 square. Alright, so when you break this down, you're going to have x equals 0 times 3 is 0. So you're going to have x equals, now 3 square will give you 9. Okay, 9 times 10 will give you 90. So you're going to have 90 over 2. Divide both sides, so this will give you what, 45 meter. And that will be the answer to this question. The correct option is option B, 45 meter. That will be the distance. Alright, so that's it for this question. Let's wipe this now, solve the next repeated question. Okay, so the next repeated question will be this question. It says two balls x and y weighing 5 gram and 50 kilogram respectively. They are thrown up vertically at the same time with a velocity of 100 meters per second. How will their positions be 1 second later? Now guys, take note of this particular question. I've often seen this question repeated. So let's solve. We have to use all this question. Let's get our parameters in the question. So in this question, it says since two balls were thrown up vertically, it shows that the final velocity will be 0 meter per second. Okay, now when you are dealing with questions of motion under gravity, and in the question you are seeing that an object is thrown vertically, once you see vertically thrown, it should register in your mind that the final velocity will be 0. Alright, whereas when the ball is being thrown down, it should register in your mind that the initial velocity will be 0, the opposite of it. When thrown up, the final velocity will be 0. When thrown down, the initial velocity will be 0. Alright, so just take note of this logic. So having known this, our initial velocity here is, our u is 100 meter per second. Okay, so we are looking for, it says how will their positions be 1 second later. So we're looking for the distance x. Okay, is unknown. So we're going to apply this equation of motion, which is v square equals u square plus 2ax. Since we're dealing with motion, so they just change this equation of motion from uniformly accelerated motion into a motion under gravity. So it's going to give us, and again the balls are thrown up, that means the balls are going against gravity. This will be v square equals u square minus 2gx. So let's plug in the values. Our final velocity is 0 square equals 100 square minus 2 times acceleration due to gravity which are g's, is 10 meter per second square. This is 2, okay, times 10 times x. We're looking for x basically, so we are left with 0 equals 10,000. Let me write it way. Okay, 0 equals 10,000 minus, now 2 times 10, that's 20x. Alright, we're making progress. So now we want to make SY formula. So this minus 20x will cross over the equality sign and we change to plus 20x. So we are left with 20x equals 10,000. Divide both sides by 20. So we have 1000 divided by 2, which will give us 500 meter. So this shows us that the correct option in this question will be option C. X and Y will both be 500 meter from the point of truth. That will be the correct answer to this question. Take note of this particular question. I've often seen it repeated. X and Y will both be 500 meter from the point of truth. So that's the correct option, option C. Let's wipe this now and solve the next repeated question. Let's wipe this. Alright, so for the next repeated question, it's going to be this. It says a ball is released from a height of 125 meters above the ground. The time taken to reach the ground is what? I think I solved this question before. Yeah, I think I solved it, but let's just solve it again. Apply the formula for find time of light. So T will be square root of 2h over g. Okay, T will be square root of, now 125 times 2, you're going to have 250 over acceleration due to gravity is 10. So you're left with square root of 25, which will give you 5 seconds. Right option is option A. Alright, so guys, before we solve the last question, if you are new to our channel, ensure that you subscribe to this channel for more of our videos. Really appreciate this. So let's wipe this now and solve the last question before we call this video, before I end this video. Alright, so the last repeated question we're going to solve with this question. It says a bullet fired vertically upwards reaches a height of 500 meters, neglecting air resistance. Calculate the magnitude of the initial velocity of the bullet. Okay, so in this question, our parameters will be, we have the distance or the height to be 500 meters. This is 0. Then we have the acceleration of the gravity to be 10 meters per second square. And we have, now final velocity will be 0 meters per second. Okay, because the bullet here is fired vertically upward, so we are asked to calculate the initial velocity. U is unknown, so we are going to apply this equation of motion to solve v square equals u square plus 2as. When you present it to be equation under gravity, to now be v square equals u square. Now vertically upward is going against gravity. This will be minus and not plus, showing that it's going against gravity, minus 2gx. So let's plug in the values. Our final velocity is 0 square equals our u square is what we're looking for. Our u basically minus 2 times 10 times 500. Okay, so when you break this down, you're going to have 0 equals u square. Now 10 times 500, we're going to have 5,000. 5,000 times 2, we're going to have 10,000. So minus 10,000. Okay, so we want to make u square square formula. This minus 10,000 will cross over the equality sign and we change to 10,000. So we're going to have 10,000 equals u square. Now to make u square formula, you square root both sides. So square root of 10,000 will give you 100. Okay, so the correct option in this question is option C. the initial velocity u will be 100 meter per second. Okay, so that's it for this video. Hope you learned something interesting from this video. Let's call it a video, guys. If you are new to our channel, once more, ensure that you are subscribed to this channel now by hitting the subscribe button for more of our videos. Also, like, share, and comment on this video. Tell me how you feel for what I learned from this video. If you seem to have any specific question to ask regarding what I've talked about in this video, feel free to leave your question in the comment section below, and I'll ensure to give you a response. Also, ensure that you are part of our channel membership by clicking on the join button to become a member of our channel. In our channel membership, we give special information to those that are part of our channel membership, so ensure that you're part of the community there, and you'll be glad you did. Now click on the screen above, and I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.